Hi, ladies and gentlemen. This is Tony Holowitz, and thank you for being here for this podcast about Act software in January of 2021. We're just going to have a little bit of a discussion on this to go along with this blog post that I've just put up. So, let me tell you a little bit about Act and what I think are some of the things you might want to be aware of if you decide you want to purchase the software this year. What are your options? Well, your first option is just to get Act as a subscription. And that subscription can be just a yearly subscription. It's approximately $330. And for that, you get Act, which you can physically install on your computer. Having noted that, the next step is you might make a decision that you want to also have Act on multiple computers. And a very common scenario is you might want to have it on your desktop computer and your laptop computer, either because you travel or you just want to have it in two places. Well, there's different ways you can do that, but one of the easiest ways is you can pay an additional approximately $120 a year, and for that, we will get your Act data in the cloud. So let me talk about that a little bit. The first option is just the subscription, which you get Act software installed. The second, you still have Act software installed on both computers, your desktop and laptop. But what we do is we take a backup of your database, we upload it to the cloud. And so that the two computers you want to use Act on can communicate, what we do is we turn around after it's been uploaded and implemented in the cloud, and we give you what are called remote databases. And those remote databases are tools or unique databases that have the ability to communicate back to the cloud and communicate through the cloud with one another. So in other words, if you start doing some work on the desktop this week and you're synchronizing, and you go away next week and work on the laptop, well, all your data is going to stay in sync because it's ultimately going to go up to the cloud and back to the two individual computers. So some of the advantages of this is that it's very inexpensive networking. In fact, if you said to me, I want to accomplish this, and you want to do it yourself, my guess is, unless you have the technical knowledge to pay someone to do it for you, would far exceed the cost of the software. And then there's a continuous updating. One of the disadvantages is you physically have to install Act software on your computer, which in some cases, if you have older versions, you might have to remove the first version and install the new version, which isn't that big a thing. We can help you with that, but also I send out videos to my clients that show you how to do that on your own. So it just depends on how technically savvy you are. The next option for you is you can actually now, as of October 15th of 2020, you can also just go completely with the web version of Act. And one of the things I neglected to mention is when you have Act in the cloud, in the first scenario, where it's on your desktop computer, your laptop, and in the cloud, you can actually access all of your data via a web browser. So there's really three ways to get at your data. The new option is called sass, Software as a Service, SaaS. And Software as a Service is really do it yourself, where you can go in, you can sign up for a free trial, you can upload your Act database if you're a current Act user, you can upload an Excel spreadsheet if you have data and you're not an Act user. But once we get that, it takes approximately an hour in most cases for us to get that uploaded for you. So now you can use Act completely in the cloud. What are the disadvantages of that? Well, the disadvantages is that you have to use it purely in a web browser. So you have to extend your knowledge of working with web browsers a little bit. And there's really three common or popular browsers these days. There's Chrome, there's Firefox, and Microsoft Edge or Internet Explorer. I've been using Edge for the last 30 days as I've gotten to know the software. Some of the advantages is it's easy to add other people. There's really no IT expense. The only thing you're going to have to really do, and what most people are going to have to do, and this isn't a big deal, is just connect it to Microsoft Outlook. Not so much for sharing contacts, but basically for sending emails. And that's the main focus initially that I'd ask you to think about. So when you're looking at this option, you also have three price levels. And those three price levels go from approximately $180 a year to $540 a year. And really, it's dependent on what you need to do with it. Right now, as of January 2021, all levels include some of the Act marketing automation emails. And that can be a great tool. Even if you don't think you'll use it, you might find ways because it's included to use it for sales and marketing purposes. So I do suggest strongly that you explore that. So Act is evolving, Act is changing. Act is trying to make itself so that it's available on multiple devices when you're a subscriber, either with the SaaS or whether you're a subscriber and have it in the cloud. You can also have Act on your mobile device with a free app called Act Companion. So Act Companion is free. You just have to set it up, configure it, and now you have all your data on your two computers if you want it, in the web if you want it, and also on your smart devices, tablets, things of that nature. So you have the ability to work with this in multiple places. The SaaS product I've been using for the last 30 days, and I like it. Usually, as a rule of thumb, I have found that sometimes when you're using Act in a web environment, it can be a little slow. I think you have to go at it with a mindset of this is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be a new experience, but it's worth taking a look at. And if you do it right, I think it can be a really great tool. If you make a decision that you're not sure about it, do it month to month. Get into it. If you find after, say, 3 or 4 months, it's not quite working for you, you can always request a backup, and then you can go back to the subscription model. So get into it a little bit, practice, but be open to learning some new ways of doing things and learning about some of the pros and cons. And I think you'll be in a good position. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tony Holowitz. Thank you so very much for being here for this podcast. And if you have any questions, never hesitate to reach out to me. Thank you very much. Bye now.